Hi guys, this video is going to be for my sun, moon, rising Libras for the month of October. We're going to go over what it is you guys can expect to potentially be feeling, manifest, maybe, I don't know, manifest internally or externally. So yeah, I'm going to update these transits as we get to it. But basically what you're looking at now is what you can expect to be feeling walking into the month of October. So October 2nd, we have a new moon solar eclipse in Libra, and it's in 10 degrees. So I want to write this down. New moon solar eclipse. What is it? New moon solar. Oh, there we go. Okay. In 10 degrees in your first house. What do I think this means? Well, obviously, it's going to take on the energy of new things in regards to Libra energy and first house, the body, the self, who you are. The second you walk into a room, people see you, right? It's literally you, yourself, and I, is what I want to say with the first house. Except you guys have it in Libra, right? Libra energy takes on 7th house energy, which is relationships. So more than likely, you guys literally are probably have difficulty thinking about yourselves, right? So I think eclipses are powerful. I've always said that. So I do think something will be happening on October 2nd. I think for you guys, it's going to be connected to, I want to say, something to do with your money and work related things. There is a chance it could be romance. The reason I'm going to work first is because 10 degrees is Capricorn energy. Capricorn energy traditionally belongs to the 10th house. So no matter where it is, it's still going to bring on Capricorn energy, career, how you appear to others, what is your legacy. So I think something is going to be happening around October 2nd in regards to how you appear when it comes to your emotions, okay? Your emotions and how either you let your emotions get the best of you with your career. Are you and the reason I'm going here is because in the 10th house, you guys have Mars in Cancer. So this is crybaby energy. This is very sensitive energy. And it's in a work-oriented house. So I think you guys may be driven, because that's the other positive side to Mars, having confidence, being brave, being driven, having gusto to go for something. So I think you guys are going to be seen, first house, which traditionally belongs to Aries. And the ruler of Aries is Mars, for either being driven based off of something you're doing when it comes to either property or homes. There may be, you may be, oh, wait, hold on. You may be investing with somebody else. Okay, this isn't obviously going to be everybody's story out there, but this is somebody's story for sure. Or hold on, something's going on maybe in regards to you moving during this time while Jupiter's in Gemini in your 9th house and Pluto went back into your 4th house in 29 degrees. The reason I'm saying this is because your 7th house talks about committed relationships, partnerships, but not just serious like love, romantic relationships, or you want to take it to the next level. It's also contracts. So it could be business partnerships, people who owe you money, signed contracts where, you basically are in agreement with another person that, this is what's going to take place on this day, or, there's an exchange of money and you will pay me back on X day, something like that. So there's commitment going on here. There's something serious going on that I feel like you guys may be committing to with another person. If it's not another person, literally how this is going to manifest is Aries in the 7th house is having like a relationship with yourself. Yes, that's possible. It can manifest that way for sure. Many rising Libras have that energy going on. So I think you guys may have a relationship with yourself, be motivated by yourself, driven, maybe based off relationships, something to do with the career, okay? Or there could be arguments with a significant other, and then maybe property is, I don't know, something goes on with property. So if you guys are like in the middle of a divorce, right? And now, you know, I don't know, you guys are going through who gets what. There may be arguments around this at this time, especially with Jupiter in the ninth house. That's lawyer energy, with Gemini, just my opinion. Especially with Mercury in Libra, definitely signed documents, serious documents. There may be anger around this because of Lilith being there. South node being in Libra in your first house. Something is coming up about the past. So with the 10 degrees, I'm thinking of, again, your 10th house, which is in Cancer. Again, this also speaks of the past. It speaks of the mother. It speaks of feminine energy. It speaks of emotional energy. Because Mars is here, this can also be either being driven to achieve through your emotions, or I would say possibly doing business with emotional men. That could be possible too. I could see something new, like an argument happening as well, or an argument at home, just something. And the reason I'm going there again is because in your fourth house, that is Capricorn, okay? And Pluto's there right now in 29 degrees. 29 degrees is a Leo degree, and you have the sun, the ruler of the fifth house, Leo, in the first house. So there's a light shining here with you guys and the fourth house of home. So I think there's arguments, disruptions, or it's the opposite. You guys want to achieve. Maybe you guys want to achieve, or you're driven, through family, based off of your family dynamics, based off of family. Maybe you guys have a good support system, or maybe you don't have a good support system. Maybe family is investing in you at this time, because we have Pluto, the ruler of Scorpio, and look what we have here, Venus. Venus is in your second house, your wallet, your money, the things you own and the things you value. So it's either that maybe family or your mother, or just people with strong feminine energy, maybe you may be, I want to say, it's like you're making money potentially this month through people, other people, investing in you. These people could be, if it's not, what I'm seeing here with Uranus, in your 8th house in Taurus, and Venus is the ruler of Taurus, right? And the 8th house traditionally belongs to Scorpio, and Venus is here. I just see something about people investing in you, because maybe there's something about you guys that's happening that can be, how do I say this? I feel like you're shining, because with the sun in the first house and sun ruling Leo, and Leo being in your 11th house, like either your group of friends are seeing you, or you're being acknowledged in some type of way. People are recognizing you maybe, because again, you have a lot of things going on in this first house. So yeah, I just think maybe your reputation is changing at this time. It could be, honestly, like I said, work, because Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn, and it's in your 6th house in Pisces. You guys could be driven to make your dreams come true. Again, if it's none of those things, then I think maybe you are just driven to accomplish something, to make your dreams come true when it comes to maybe the physical body. Maybe you're trying to transform this at this time. Maybe you're trying to work on your mental health. That's another one too. 6th house is the house of healing. So you guys could literally, Venus in your 2nd house in Scorpio, could be investing in things that are, I want to say, non-tangible, maybe astrology readings, tarot readings, things that would make you feel better physically, mentally, in order to avoid emotional, mental conflict. Okay. Maybe it's affecting your work. That's another one too. All right, I could keep it going, because honestly, it could keep manifesting in so many different ways. It's just how it goes. All right, October 4th, Venus in Scorpio in your 2nd house is trining Saturn in retrograde in Pisces in your 6th house. So on October 4th, Venus in Scorpio will be trining Saturn in Pisces in retrograde in the 6th house. So, Oceana. Enough. Sorry. what I want to say here is, so, okay, so let's go to good first. Trines are blessings, right? It's easygoing energy. It's either something being given to you or something that comes so naturally to you, you don't even notice it. So the thing is, these aren't technically always blessings. I think it's just the easy thing to say for astrologers, because it's not that it's not the truth. It is. It's just that more times than not, I feel like this is a blessing. But another way of looking at it is lazy energy or something that can happen easily, just in general. And I feel like there's so many, like, you would have to see what planets are happening in order for me to like come up with what I'm about to tell you. But I think most people would say Venus and Scorpio trining Saturn and Pisces, it's going to be beautiful energy. It's going to be dreamlike. It's going to be deep. It's going to be psychic. It's going to be intuitive, blah, blah, blah. I think, yes, all of those things. I think definitely if you guys aren't doing anything on the day, you're going to be feeling really good. You're going to be feeling magical. It may be one of those days to invest money into, I don't know, something practical that is non-tangible, maybe an astrology reading, you know, maybe that's something that would help you guys, especially rising Libras. That's definitely like a thing that is therapeutic. So overall, I'm going to say it's going to be a good day and good energy. You're literally going to feel things will be easy to do, especially when it comes to work. I think money will be flowing to you guys with whatever it is you're doing. I think, you know, you will just be able to attract money. For some of you, I think this will be maybe others investing in you. But at the same time, how I also see this potentially manifesting for some of you. With Lilith and Libra, I feel like that's a very sexual, magnetic energy in general. Venus and Scorpio, another sexually magnetic energy. And Pisces energy, these are things that maybe you won't see, that you could miss. Things that happen. And when I look at it in a negative way, things that can go wrong, but you don't know where these things are. Without getting too detailed. My point of saying this is I keep picking up on the body and like people having easy access, okay? So I just want to say also just be mindful of that, because while Pluto's in retrograde like one last time in Capricorn in a very karmic degree, I think there's something to be said about that, because when we look at Cancer in general, because Cancer belongs in your fourth house traditionally, right? But it's not. It's in your 10th house. That's where Capricorn is. And you guys have Mars here, which can be like, Mars is the original ruler of Scorpio, later becomes Pluto, but they still both hold true to this day. What I'm trying to say is just whatever it is you value, which usually it's deep conversations, it's meaningful things with purpose, right? Things that really mean something to you. I just see the 6th house being the body sometimes, literally, how you take care of your body. And with Saturn being in retrograde, sometimes we can look at this as, what are we doing when the father isn't around? He's giving us some leeway here to see if we're going to behave. I don't know if this is... with Pisces and Scorpio, it's like a lot of water energy. And I could just see with these houses in particular and the planets in particular, just something maybe that you guys need to be aware of on that day when it comes to your body. Because Venus rules Libra and this is your first house, the body. So there may be things you need to guard yourself with. That's all. October 5th, Mercury in Libra in your first house is squaring Mars in Cancer in your 10th. So again, October 5th, we have Mercury in Libra and she's squaring Mars in Cancer in your 10th. So right away, I think of either mental conflict, or I think of arguments, heated over, like, you know, either with like somebody you are literally trying to partner up with in a business, because it's talking about legal contracts or something serious when it comes to your career, and there being something going wrong, like some type of argument, and it could connect to people's emotions, like people's emotions being heightened at this time. So I would, and with a square, nonetheless, it's something karmic. It's something where time is required and there's just a lot of friction. So I would also say be careful with legal contracts around this time frame. Definitely cross your T's, dot your I's, just double check everything. There may be something hidden. I mean, what contract, you know, doesn't have something hidden, but I'm just getting something like that happening for you guys. Why? Because Mercury rules Virgo and Mercury rules Gemini. Where's Gemini for you guys? The 9th house. So with the 12th house energy, these are things you cannot see, right? It's hidden things. So I'm just thinking to myself that it's in your 12th house, Virgo. So there's probably maybe people trying to take advantage of you. Maybe you catch it and that's where the argument is. Or maybe there's just some bullshit and that's what you guys are arguing about. Like maybe there's some unknowns to some things that you're trying to figure out, and that's where the discrepancy is. So, and the same can apply for relationships as well. With Mercury, if it's not signed contracts, again, I could definitely see people being like going through a divorce with this one. If it's not divorce, and I say just arguments, if not with people at work that are emotional and sensitive, then I'm going to say it would be arguments with people you're in a relationship with and you're arguing, and there could be something about how it is, like how you appear and wanting to achieve something here. Because with Mars, there is, yes, I know Mars, the god of war, but I think what most people forget is it's literally motivating you to achieve something, right? So when Mars energy like pisses us off, it usually like lights a fire under our ass. So I think there's something to this with Mercury squaring Mars. It's like either a breakup happens around this time, an argument. I could potentially see accidents as well with Mercury and Mars. I would just say be careful on this day because Mars energy is fast. I don't think it's fast in Cancer, but still it's Mars nonetheless. So I would just say it's talking to Mercury and not in a good way. So just to, you know, just be mindful of that. But with Mercury ruling Virgo, Mercury ruling Gemini in the 9th house, excuse me, and Jupiter being there. Yeah, I'm just seeing conversations. These conversations could also be about beliefs. I could see that as well. Because Jupiter rules Sagittarius in your 3rd house. So there could be an argument based off of how somebody was raised and their belief system. It could be you or another person. And it's like emotions are just high. Okay, October 8th, we have Venus in Scorpio in your 2nd house, trining Mars in Cancer in your 10th. So again, we have October 8th, we have Venus in Scorpio in your 2nd house, and it's trining Mars in Cancer in your 10th. So again, like I said before, trines are blessings. It's easy energy, comes to you. Or it's given to you, something like that. So with Venus trining Mars, I feel like this is energy that speaks about getting along with the opposite sex, potentially making money based off of something you've been working hard at, something you've been working hard to achieve when it comes to business, property. Maybe some of you guys are trying to get pregnant at this time. I could see that as well, especially with Jupiter and Gemini and Pluto being in that 4th house. I could definitely see that. And Uranus being in the 8th house nonetheless, like what's going on internally in the body. There's something happening. There's some type of shakeup. So yeah, anything else I want to say to that? Mercury, oh, I'm sorry, Venus in Scorpio. Wait, hold on. Venus in Scorpio, trining Mars. So your 1st house and your 8th house is getting along with your 7th house. Yeah, this is definitely either romance or business partnership. So if there was an argument like the day before, or what, I already forgot, 2 or 3 days before, I feel like this is like coming together and figuring a solution out. But I feel like whatever this is, hold on. It's either, you know, I'm getting public energy. Public because you got Mars in the 10th house. So it's either people will be able to see that there's arguments going on in relationships or business partnerships, or just people will be talking about this. Either people at work or people you deal with. Oh my God, secretly, people will be secretly, okay. Capricorn rules the 10th house. Cancer goes over here. Mars. How can I explain that one again? Sorry, I just had it. Oh, because Saturn. So since Saturn rules Capricorn, right? It's currently in your 6th house. It's in Pisces. But the thing is, traditionally Virgo rules that 6th house. So since you guys have it in your 12th house where Pisces normally is, I just feel like people would be talking about like the things that like should or should not be happening publicly, about arguments that may be based off of emotions or what other people consider to be emotions or sensitivity. Like I feel like people would be seeing what's wrong with it. Virgo. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, so let's move on. That same day, Mercury in Libra in your 1st house is trining Jupiter in Gemini in your 9th. So October 8th, Mercury in Libra in your 1st house is trining Jupiter in Gemini in your 9th. So yeah, I think this can manifest a few different ways. So anytime Jupiter is talking to Mercury, it's basically a big head. It's somebody, and this is when it's talking in a positive way. It's somebody who believes the things they say. It's somebody who is confident in the things they say. So I believe you guys will be naturally talking without trying to teach or... I think what's going to happen is you guys may just either be spiritual or like expressing spirituality in a way that seems very Jupiterian, I want to say. Or you guys may be talking about traveling. You may be talking about going back to school. You may be talking about maybe moving. This can also be contracts and like I said before, legal contracts with lawyers. Maybe this comes easy to you guys, or maybe you guys, you know, are a lawyer for all I know, and learning about maybe, I don't know, your choices that you have. Maybe you guys are learning about yourself right now. Maybe you guys are learning about where you want to travel. Maybe you guys are learning about Jupiter, the 9th house. Maybe you guys are learning about your friends at this time, your local community. Yeah. Hold on. Okay, yeah. I just feel like it would be more so about you guys, to be honest, with Mercury being in the 1st house, the body. I just think you guys may be learning something easily at this time, either about like what you can do in relationships, business relationships, maybe what your rights are legally, things of that nature. That's what I'm going to say. Okay. October 9th, Jupiter goes retrograde in Gemini. So October 9th, Jupiter goes retrograde in Gemini. I like this because it's more of a going within energy. It's not so quick to react. It's not so quick to express what it knows, the knowledge, the information. It goes within first and then it expresses itself or then teaches. So I like that energy. And I think it would have to do with communication because it's in number one, Gemini, Mercury sign. So it is about conversations and thoughts and teaching. So I think because Sagittarius is in your third house where traditionally Gemini would be, I do think this would be you guys being willing, being willing, to be a student and not so much the teacher. So I think there's something to that as well with your local community. October 11th, Pluto goes direct in Capricorn. Okay, so October 11th, Pluto goes direct in Capricorn in your fourth house. So I think for those of you who have been feeling that Pluto in retrograde, which has been feeling heavy, I think you guys are going to feel the difference. I do. I feel probably, I would think right around this time frame, like literally, I wouldn't be surprised on the day of the second it goes direct. And I really don't feel that way with every planet when things like this happen. But with Pluto, I do. So again, what are you guys being asked to do during this time? Because it's very karmic, right? It's in 29 degrees. It's in, it's Pluto, it's in 29 degrees, and it's not going to be in Capricorn again. It's going to move back into Aquarius. So it's like one last karmic test for something you guys have been trying to achieve. What I pick up on here is, especially with this, Kylo, sorry. What I pick up on here is since Saturn and Neptune are going to be in that sixth house in Pisces when this is happening, which is talking about how you guys take care of yourself, right? There's something here for my sun, moon, rising Pisces. Wait, my sun, moon, rising Pisces, sorry. For my rising Libras, where we're supposed to get in touch with our feelings. And I feel like the purpose of that is to remember that we were definitely, well, I can't speak for everyone, but I would think like the general energy, I know all of our stories are going to be different, but a rising Libra story is that we were very sweet or sensitive, and then like our fourth house in Capricorn shaped that differently, right? It made us a little more cold or stoic with other people, or with feelings in general, kind of like the boundaries got higher, right? So Pluto being in the fourth house, a watery house traditionally, it's trying to do a few different things, in my opinion. It's trying to transform your emotions, like what do emotions mean to you? What has your family taught you about emotions, and how can you come into power with that? Since it's in 29 degrees, to me, again, this is what has reminded me about the childhood. Like I think of Leo energy, and Leo is in that 11th house, right? So seeing that Aquarius is in that 5th house, have you guys transformed, how you guys express yourself at home? How have you guys come into power at home, your home life, like with emotions, with family, or for those of you where this is talking about who have had your own family, like what type of family are you raising? Is it similar to the one like that you had, like the family the childhood you guys had, I want to say. I think there's going to be also, for most of you here, this is talking about stepping into your power with making money. Being a boss, since Cancer traditionally rules the 4th house and it's in your 10th house. 10th house speaks of your career, right? And Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn, and it's in your 6th house, the place of work. And this is also in Pisces, the 6th house. So nonetheless, what I think is going on here is healing energy. Like Pluto has come into your home, your 4th house, to transform the way you look at home life. And how can you heal and forgive? And while at the same time, work on yourself, because the 6th house is the house of healing. So, because I do think what happens with rising Libras is, it's the feelings and the emotions that we don't even realize, because it's Pisces, we don't realize it. 6th house, everyday regimen, like kind of take a hold of us, and things either don't get done, or there's just this energy where we are supposed to really work harder, I feel like, for things. And that's because we're literally rising Venus. If you think about it, Venus, what do you think of? It's money. It's also love, and it's being comfortable. And I think because we have Taurus in our 8th house, we love to be comfortable. And especially with Pisces in that 6th house, it's really hard, I think, to push ourselves to the limit. So I think that's also what Pluto's doing as well for a lot of us out there, especially with Mars in Cancer. It's pushing us to achieve based off of our emotions. So we have to transform this. We have to change this. And I feel like I didn't finish that thought about the child expression with the 29 degrees. I'm sorry. I don't know if I did or didn't. I feel like I didn't. But with Leo, with your 5th house being in Aquarius, I feel like this is childlike expression publicly, and it would be kind of eccentric, weird, different. And do you feel like you've come into your power with this? So, yeah, and how does that resonate with your emotions and your family, but more so you, right? Because I think there is something weird that goes on with a rising Libra, where it's like our family, because we're coming from Capricorn, kind of has some type of control over us, and what it is we do with our life. And, you know, is their status, is their achievement. So, yeah. And also, I think they're harder and colder with us in order to, like, provoke us to move. And that's just the way that they do it. That's what they're used to. So, yeah. All right, October 13th, Mercury enters Scorpio. So Mercury is leaving your 1st house in Libra and is entering Scorpio in your 2nd house. So October 13th, Mercury enters Scorpio. You guys may be spending money on traveling. You guys may be spending money on property, spending money on something work related at this time. Whatever this is, you may not be showing it to others. It may be something you're keeping private, is what I'm picking up on. It could be something you're investing with other people that are from other countries or just a different culture than you. The reason I'm saying all this is because Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini, and this is happening in your 12th house and your 9th house. So I'm getting somewhere that is not close to home. Venus rules your 1st house, Libra, the body, and then also your 8th house, Taurus. So this is where other people, you may do, other people may invest, like, in you, may give you money, I want to say, for something. Not that you have Venus in the 8th house right now, but it's in Scorpio, which is traditionally the 8th house. So I feel like, if you guys are being seen for something right now, for whatever it is you're doing, it's either catching people's attention, and they may be giving you money for something you're doing. That's not everyone, obviously. For those of you that are trying to get a new job or putting yourselves out there, I think yes, it's going to be hard because of Pluto being in 29 degrees. But if you were going to do it, I think it's possible, definitely, when Pluto goes direct. When Venus enters your second house, I think you'll have a better chance at social networking, putting your application in, and trying to get a job when Pluto goes direct. Just want to be clear. So, what else? Yeah, that's it. Okay, so October 14th, Sun in Libra in your first house is squaring Mars in Cancer in your 10th house. So again, we have October 14th, Sun in Libra in your first house squaring Mars in Cancer in the 10th house. So to me, this is like the inability to act on something. You guys may not feel good that day, like literally you may not feel well, or this may be like something with your confidence is what I'm getting. Or if like you have a business partner or something of that nature, you may not feel confident about this person anymore. I'm just getting something about self-expression being limited. You may not feel like you can express yourself without it turning into an argument. And then for those of you that are dating, I could see this definitely being about a relationship because the Sun rules. Where was I going with that? What is it? The Sun squares... Yeah, no, Sun in Libra, and it's squaring Mars. Oh, that's what I meant to say. Mars is the ruler of Aries, and that's the 7th house, so there would be arguments here. And then the Sun rules Leo. Okay, sorry, the 11th house, but it's in your first house, the body. So I think that there would be maybe arguments about you guys expressing yourself on the internet, like the people you're dating, not the people you're dating, I'm sorry, it's not 5th house. Like if you guys are in a committed relationship, I feel like you guys may express something publicly, and I feel like your partner would have a problem with it. Or you may not want to express yourself publicly because you believe your partner would have a problem with it. I'm also getting something about like insecurities, I feel like, based off of emotions, but it could be you guys being emotionally heightened, like your emotions being heightened, so you guys are insecure. Or this could be maybe emotional men that are insecure. I could see that as well. I think also what could be happening too with Chiron here, I didn't even think of this because I'm seeing the North Node in the 7th house in Aries, and also Chiron's here, right? Because I'm like, oh, maybe it has something to do with this Mars. I think also you guys are attracting hurt people. All right, so yeah, you guys may not feel driven on this day. You guys may not want to express yourself on this day. You may just not feel good. You may not be happy. October 15th, we have Venus in Scorpio in your 2nd house, and it's trining Neptune in Pisces in retrograde in your 6th house. To me, with Venus and Neptune in general, I like this because it's spiritual, unconditional love. It's the higher octave of Venus. This is what I think of with Neptune. But here it is talking to Neptune. And I'm sorry, but here it is talking to Venus. And wait, did I say that right? Whatever. Anyway, hopefully you guys followed that. But Neptune is in retrograde. To me, that's when you're more in tune with being in tune, just my opinion. And it's in your 6th house, the house of healing, the body, how you guys take care of yourself, your everyday regimen. And then we have your second house, which is your wallet, the things you own, the things you value. I think whatever it is you're doing every day, like if it's walking your dog, if it's driving to Dunkin' Donuts before you go to work, those things, you're going to be happy while doing it. I mean, I don't know what it is you're feeling when you do your daily things, but I'm just seeing like a smile on your face, like literally just happy energy. And I think for some of you guys, this would also be valuing like daydream energy. That's what I'm getting here. Like, it could literally be for some of you spending money on something like a drug or alcohol, some type of escapism. Could be even like a psychic reading, an astrology reading, something non-tangible for sure. Because like I said, the 6th house, house of healing, and it's in Pisces, and we're talking about Neptune here. So I could see you guys definitely doing something like that. And with Venus, this is you guys spending money on these types of things. Scorpio is saying the same thing. The occult, esoteric, spiritual, magic. Yeah. So, October 17th, Venus enters Sagittarius. So, Venus is leaving your 2nd house and it's entering your 3rd house. I think you guys may be spending money on traveling. I think you guys may be spending money on your friends, hanging out with your friends, cousins, siblings, aunts, uncles. You guys could be learning something on the internet, something from somebody far away. Yeah, literally with Mercury and Scorpio in your 2nd house, I think that's definitely possible. Venus and Sagittarius, I think you could be attracting people who are very freedom oriented at this time. And I think you guys would be very freedom oriented. You guys may just love your freedom. You guys may love the, you know, the wonder of life and everything it has to offer, and just, you know, seeing where life takes you, things like that. Law of attraction. Trying to think what else. I think you would want to have deep conversations about philosophy for sure. The universe, spirituality, maybe a higher education system. Yeah. You may even want to talk about like aliens, different life, species out there. What else? Just maybe taboo like things, because I'm getting a mix of Mercury being in Scorpio and Venus being in Sagittarius. All right, so October 17th, there will be a full moon in Aries in your 7th house. All right. And it's in 24 degrees. So again, we had a new moon solar eclipse in the beginning of the month in 10 degrees in your 1st house, the body, the self. Traditionally, this belongs to Aries, but it's in Libra. So I feel like, you know, we're learning how to think about ourselves for once, right? We're learning from the people who taught us best, our exes, right? We're learning how to be selfish, but in a nice way. And with the full moon then going on the other side of the axis, same axis, but other side, Aries 7th house, which traditionally belongs to Libra, there's going to be a full moon in 24 degrees. So I do believe something will be illuminated during this time. I do believe you guys will see something. So I think it'll manifest in a few different ways. The first one is it's going to be connected to work for some of you, because Mars is the ruler of Aries. So something will be illuminated when it comes to business partnerships. And maybe, you know, like you guys are either being too critical of other people that you may be trying to connect with at this time, or do business with, or get them to invest in you, or vice versa. Sorry, I'm just looking. You may be realizing something about the dream you had for yourself, Aries, when it comes to your 10th house in Cancer. Like, since moon energy is Cancer energy, right? There's something here happening where it's like you may feel either emotionally driven, or you may see where all your hard work has brought you, and that, you know, like you're proud of what you've accomplished thus far. Or it could be maybe you feel extra critical on yourself because you're really diving deep psychologically into your mind as to why maybe there's conflict with work, why there's problems with work. And if it's not work related, then I'm going to say you guys will be seeing something being illuminated when it comes to relationships and the conflicts you have with relationships, or the arguments you have with relationships. It's just with that 24 degrees being a Pisces degree, it's going to connect back to your 12th house, which is in Virgo. Virgo traditionally rules that 6th house, which you guys again have in Pisces. And what do you have here? You have Neptune in retrograde and you have Saturn in retrograde. So I just think, again, since the 6th house talks about work, daily routine, but also the house of healing, I think what may be illuminated for you guys is maybe like arguments with men that are based on emotions or sensitivity have to leave your life for something like that. Because when I think of Pisces energy, I think of healing, I think of forgiveness, and I think of things leaving, things missing, things gone, things going gone. Wait, what? I'm so sorry. Things are just gone. But because you have Virgo in your 12th house, it's such an over-analytical, analyzing energy where it notices everything that's wrong. You may realize that maybe that's the conflict that arises with your emotions. And maybe that is connected back to home life, right? Because right now Uranus is in your internal world. So there's some type of shakeup. I mean, because it's in retrograde, you're probably not experiencing what would normally be real big shakeups as powerfully. I feel like this would be more of a going within, or just not handling it, like handling it a little bit more softly. You guys may be more childlike instead of more of an adult when it comes to things that are going on in your internal world. But I think this has something more to do with maybe connecting back to how you were raised with Capricorn energy. And Pluto is trying to change something. Pluto is trying to bring the sun here for a reason, along with, you know, Pluto's shadow, right? So Pluto's showing you your shadow, but also showing you the shadow through the sun. At least this is how I take this in with 29 degrees. So there's something here about when emotions get high, do you guys pull Aquarius energy, which then may cause Mars energy? So as a child, the 5th house, there's something to this where there may be, you may be like kind of eccentric, or make funny facial expressions, or be considered an oddball, or just different and standing out in some type of way. And that's because that's who you naturally are. And something like that is happening in your internal world is what I want to say. There is something like a shakeup with what it is you know. But what it is you know is Capricorn. So I almost wonder if like you guys are seeing something about yourselves when it comes to expressing emotions. Because I also feel like with Capricorn being in the 4th house, it's the private house, right? But because everything is handled in such a stoic way, in such a cold, hard way, you can't help but then express your emotions so publicly, because you weren't taught where to express them. You were just taught to not express them. But that's not how it works as a human, right? So that could be happening for you guys too around that time frame. The reason I connected it all to that is because Mercury is in Scorpio. Your thoughts, it's going to be connected back to Pluto in your 4th house. Okay. What else? October 17th, that same day, Venus in Scorpio is sextiling Pluto in Capricorn in your 4th house. So October 17th, Venus in Scorpio is sextiling Pluto in Capricorn. So your 2nd house and your 4th house are talking to each other in a positive way. I like this. There's transformation happening. However, with the sextile, this is an energy you guys have to put work into. This is energy you... Oh, I just thought of something. I'm sorry. With Pluto being in Capricorn, I feel like once it goes direct, another test is being honest. That's another one too. Because if you think about it, this is supposed to be traditional things with Capricorn energy. But with Pluto energy, when it's evolved, it understands people on a deeply psychological level, right? And it can use that to its power, but in a leadership type of way, like in a positive way. But the unevolved version would be to try to control people and dominate people by having power. So I think for you guys, the final test here is being real about your emotions. Because maybe this is actually something you value. Maybe you guys actually value how deep you are, but you were taught not to. Okay. So yeah, anyway, so a sextile, this is something you guys have to do in order to get it. Otherwise, it's just not going to manifest. But more than likely, if you do it, there will be, it's a blessing because you will more than likely get what it is you seek. So when I think of Venus and Pluto, I think of transformation. I think of either, it's funny because Pluto rules Scorpio and Venus rules your 1st house and your 8th house. So I do feel like it's something about you guys. Wait a minute. What is she talking about? I'm so sorry. Ignore what I said. Venus and Scorpio will not be talking to Pluto in Capricorn. That is so dumb. I'm sorry. This website, I need to just ignore that. I'm so sorry. God. Oh my God. I'm so annoyed right now. Oh, I'm even more annoyed. Okay, I was so mad. Anyway, October 21st, Mercury in Scorpio trine Saturn in retrograde in Pisces. So October 21st, we have Mercury in Scorpio in your 2nd house. It's trining Saturn in retrograde in Pisces in your 6th house. So I think of things you guys are spending, like things that you guys, things that you guys are working on, like the mental capacity is there. Like on this type of day, you guys would have you guys would be extremely intuitive. That's the first thing I want to say. But other things like with your mind, you would be able to quickly understand things that are happening at the place of work. And I'm bringing up work because this is your 2nd house and your 3rd house. When it comes to conversations around money, I think things would be like if you had to get anything done on this day, you would be able to do it with ease. There would be no issues for you. So you may be talking to men on this day. You may be talking to you may be having conversations with men about work. You may be having private conversations about work. I'm going to tell you right now, you're definitely having conversations with people that if it's not business and it's relationships, then investments, like what you value. So what do I value in relationships? What do you value in relationships? Those type of conversations would be happening. Saturn, commitment in the house of healing. Pisces is there. So, but for business, I think this would definitely be hidden conversations about maybe potential investments. Maybe they don't happen, but these would be investments. I'm telling you, if it's not property, then it's just something work related. Maybe you're getting, maybe for some of you, you guys are just getting conversations, having conversations about your boss. That's also potential there with Pluto energy. I could see that. Anything else I want to say? I feel like these would be conversations with somebody who doesn't live close to you, or somebody who's a different culture than you, with Jupiter being in retrograde in Gemini. This could be somebody who's spiritual, or just somebody who's looked at as a guru. You could be getting help from somebody when it comes to work. But yeah, I just feel like things would make sense on this day. You'd be on time. There would be no issues with traveling. I feel like this is the type of energy where we realize time is a currency and it should be valued. It's an investment. It's important. It should be respected. October 22nd, Sun in Libra in the first house is squaring Pluto in Capricorn in your fourth. So on October 22nd, Sun in Libra is squaring Pluto in Capricorn, your fourth. So I don't like this energy because I don't like any Pluto squares, because it screams manipulation, domination, control power trips, and trying to control. So yeah, I just feel like this is being blocked when it comes to being able to express oneself. I feel like this is an energy where you may not be happy. You may be depressed on this day, sad, or somebody else close to you that feels like home. Excuse me, I'm sorry. May do this to you guys. I'm just seeing basically like the sun get blocked out is the way I want to put it. Like you guys may be just like your beautiful selves, because the sun is in your first house. And I feel like it would be other people trying to change you guys. Like I feel like it would be men, because it's Capricorn energy, or just trying to make you feel less than, or yeah, I'm getting friction here. I really am. And I feel like it's connected to this Mars in Cancer. So hold on one second here. The sun rules the 11th house. Okay. And Pluto rules Scorpio. So your second house, sorry, your 11th house is your second house. Okay, so what I feel like I'm picking up on here is wanting to express yourself but feeling blocked. I think that's also another potential. And since Pluto rules Scorpio, this is energy you guys value. And you have Mercury here, and it's like you cannot communicate this on this day. Yes, with Venus being the ruler Libra in the third house in Sagittarius, yes, you guys may be traveling on this day, or I know Mercury isn't involved, but the reason I'm saying this is with Venus being in Sagittarius, it's either like, and again, the reason I went here is because the sun rules Leo. It's your 11th house. It's your group of friends. It's the internet. It's expressing yourself whatever way you want to, and you're standing out, like I just said, on the internet or with your group of friends or maybe social networking. And you're squaring, the sun is squaring Pluto in Capricorn, the 4th house. Pluto rules Scorpio, which is your 2nd house, the things you guys value. So I feel like what would be, where the friction would be felt would be about expressing verbally your feelings, and what these feelings are. It could literally, yeah, maybe it's romance, but I'm getting, just, you know, the fact that Mercury, is conversations, and Virgo and Gemini and your thoughts. And there's something here about wanting to, I don't know, maybe express this with the body, like giving hugs or, I don't know, shaking hands, and you feel blocked, like you cannot do this, based off maybe information you know, or conversations you've had. But yeah, I think with Venus being in Sagittarius, you may just want to do what it is you want and be, you know, loving, free loving. But I think you're going to feel friction and you won't, you know, express yourself. October 22nd, the sun enters Scorpio. So sun is leaving your 1st house and is entering your 2nd house in Scorpio on October 22nd. So, yeah, definitely. There's something you guys want to, it's either money is going to be very important when the sun enters Scorpio, or you guys want to put something out there because Mercury has already been in Scorpio in your 2nd house. You want to communicate about what it is maybe you value. Maybe you guys want to talk to people that you feel deeply about. Pluto, Capricorn, 4th house, your emotions. You guys may feel powerful by being openly expressive with your emotions. So I think there's something to this, especially with Uranus being in your 8th house in your internal world. There's something changing right now for you guys when it comes to what it is you value. So yeah, so when the sun enters Scorpio, I think there's going to be more of an emphasis either on what it is maybe you're spending your money on. You may want to show it, or you may want to keep it private. I think the things you value, like, I want to say the things you value is what really is going to be on your mind during this time frame, more so because the sun's there, and it's going to be making it okay, when Mercury's in Scorpio, right? These conversations, deep conversations, I think you're going to have more fun with it once the sun enters Scorpio. And you're able to express these things in a more positive way. Or maybe you're able to express these things publicly now. Okay, October 24th, Mars in Cancer in your 10th house is sextiling Uranus in retrograde in Taurus in your 8th house. So again, October 24th, Mars in Cancer in your 10th house is sextiling Uranus in Taurus in your 8th house in retrograde. I think as long as you guys put in work, again, it's a sextile, which means you guys have to do something in order to manifest it, in order for something to happen. You guys need to do something. So I think you're going to be driven based off of something internally. Like you guys may get a download from spirit or out of nowhere. It's like you just feel internally inspired to work towards something when it comes to the place of career or how it is you appear. And it's really going to be based on your feelings that day, I feel like. So you may have the energy to do something. You may feel childlike and just randomly out of nowhere want to express yourself and what it is you want to achieve when it comes to work. Or it could be you guys working towards something. You put in some type of work that day. I also just think of like freeing yourselves by actually doing something that may be normally difficult for you guys, since Uranus is in that 8th house. So yeah, I just see I see Mars as an independent energy, and I see Uranus as a freedom-oriented energy. So there's something to be said about that. For some of you, this is going to be talking about relationships. I think with Mars sextiling Uranus, either something randomly happening behind your back that you didn't expect, like in a positive way, I feel like. Based off of somebody, either, you know, you're dating or you did date. I don't know. I just see with Mars and Uranus, like something fast appearing out of nowhere. That's what I see. So, yeah, it could be that as well. Let's see, what else do we got? October 28th, Mars in Cancer in your 10th house is trining Neptune in retrograde in your 6th house in Pisces. So again, October 28th, Mars in Cancer in your 10th house is trining Neptune in retrograde in Pisces in your 6th house. So I like this. You guys are motivated by spirit to act on something. Now, whether you guys actually hear spirit or not, then I would just say it's you guys feeling motivated on this day. But really, it's like you're being divinely guided. You have the courage to do something based off of your emotions, and your emotions would be feeling really good that day. I'll tell you that right now. Mars in Cancer, yes, it would be like emotionally driven in a positive way based off of the trine and it's Neptune. I mean, I don't think it would be like a daydream. I just think you're trying to go for a daydream. So therefore, it's like you would take action on this. And I do feel like it would be work related, or it would be something like a healthy type of exercise that's considered to be spiritual. Ooh, for some of you, this could be nice sex. I'll tell you that right now. I think so, yeah. What else? Sorry. October 28th, Venus in Sagittarius in your 3rd house is squaring Saturn and Pisces in retrograde in the 6th house. So again, October 28th, Venus in Sagittarius in your 3rd house is squaring Saturn in Pisces in retrograde in the 6th house. So to me, this is talking about conflict and karma when it comes to either conversations you're having about your idea and your beliefs about love and how it should be or not be, and this like opposing other people. These would be your friends. It would be your friends, cousins, siblings, aunts, uncles, people of that nature. I think you guys would be talking, I think, about yourselves as well as like, ooh, wait, hold on one second. Venus was your 1st house, Libra, and Taurus, 8th house. And since, ooh, Lilith is here in the South Node and Uranus. Okay. I think there would be conversations about, like the change in, like, I feel like people don't look at relationships the same anymore, like romance. This is what I'm getting with Saturn and Pisces. It's not really Capricorn typical energy, which Saturn rules Capricorn, right? I feel like it's a different traditional energy. It's going against tradition, because it may not be intentional, by the way. Get out of here. Gross. But it's like there may be an issue based off of the things you say. It could have to do with your beliefs on how relationships, committed relationships should be, or maybe that committed relationships shouldn't be a thing. There is something happening here because Jupiter rules Sagittarius, right? And it's in your 9th house, and it's in retrograde nonetheless, which means you're going within. You're not fast to speak on your beliefs. Like, you're going to do your research, you're going to cross your T's, you're going to dot your I's, but you're going to be speaking about the things you're learning with your friends, Gemini energy, but in the 3rd house in Sagittarius, but Venus is there. So when I think of a Venus in Sagittarius, which I don't know if you guys have dated these people before, these creatures, but you know, they are, don't tell them what to do, don't try to tell them what they should not do or do, because that's it. Bye. So I do think there's something to this where I feel like either you're being told this or you're telling people this. It's almost going against the norm, and it's also going against the dream. It's either your dream or other people's dream of what a relationship should be. Also, what this could be is you guys spending too much money freely, because Sagittarius is also a fire sign. So when Venus is in a fire sign, it's no good. It's no good. It's no bueno. You know, it's quick, like fire to go. So since Saturn is in Pisces, you know, there's this energy with all of us where it's trying to make the non-tangible tangible. It's trying to make the invisible visible. But, you know, it's up to us to do the work. But we're all feeling the nudges in some type of way. More so with Saturn being in Pisces. So, what was I saying? Hold on. Sorry. So what I think may be happening is you may be feeling that energy of like, don't spend money. You may be trying to be smart. Virgo energy, since this traditionally rules the 6th house. Hold on to your money. Or you may have money. It's just, oh, no. I'm just seeing this as Saturn wanting to make something stable. And Venus in Sagittarius is like, let's just do what we want. And that may not be too stable for Saturn. That's what I think. So, this could be maybe spending money on traveling with friends. There's an issue here. Spending money on work, having to invest in an education, some type of health regimen. Maybe it's a gym, but there's almost something blocking you from being able to spend money or be in a relationship or not have an argument in a relationship. Like, there's something going on that kind of stifles, I feel like, your freedom with money. So yeah, that's around October 28th. I also want to say something too about that. Since Venus is in Sagittarius and it's talking to the 6th house, I would say it is Venus though. It's not. You just may have difficulty loving yourself as well on this day. Just, even though it's in Sagittarius, there's just something to that. Yeah. Okay, October 30th, Mercury in Scorpio in your 2nd house is in opposition to Uranus in Taurus in your 8th house in retrograde. So again, we have Mercury in Scorpio in the 1st house. I'm sorry, in the 2nd house. And it's in opposition to Uranus in the 8th house in retrograde. So to me, this is talking about being at odds with other people who value different things than you. But also, this is you as well, right? This is your energy by law of attraction. This is the energy you bring into your life. So I think you guys may want to spend money maybe on yourself, or you may want to talk about yourself during this time. You may want to talk about relationships, or you may I want to say what you value may be very deep and intimate, but it may be at odds with, I almost feel like it's either with what you're getting or, hold on one second. I just think that there may be conversations you want to have that are deep, but you may not be getting that with friends at this time, because what I get with Taurus energy, it's not that it's not deep, it's that there is also a surface level to it. So you just, this is that type of energy where you're going to be at odds with the things you want to talk about, that you value, versus what it is you're actually getting. So you may feel disappointed, I feel like, on this day. I feel like there would be conversations that you want to have, but they would be 12th and 9th house related. Virgo and Gemini, this is connected to Mercury, right? And then Pluto is in your 4th house in Capricorn, going there because, again, Pluto's the ruler of Scorpio. So I'm getting like a lot of emotional, private conversations potentially that are about maybe spirituality or philosophy, some type of belief system, or maybe even something, you know, traveling, but you only talk about it with, you know, you're choosing to talk about it with, I don't know, somebody close to you. And honestly, with the 2nd and 8th house, I feel like this would be somebody you guys are intimate with, right? So Uranus being in retrograde, this would make you guys go within and be more spiritual about it. But it's still an opposition nonetheless. So oppositions work better when they work together. There's a compromise. So I think you guys may want to express 8th house topics, you know, the occult, taboo, esoteric things, or just deeply, things that are deeply psychological. You may want to voice out. Taurus, throat chakra. But whoever you may want to do this with may not want to do this back. They may want to keep it, again, surface level. They may not be ready to have those deep conversations, is what I'm getting. So I just want to make sure. Uranus rules Aquarius, that 5th house, romance. 26 degrees is the Taurus degree. Yes. So Venus rules Taurus. It's in your 3rd house. This could be, if it's not people you're intimate with, then I think it could be close friends. And it's like you want to have these deep conversations with them. Or maybe you just want to have open-minded conversations. But it's like you're limited on that, is what I'm picking up on. Okay, October 31st, we have Mercury in Scorpio in your 2nd house, trining Neptune in Pisces in your 6th. So again, Mercury in Scorpio in your 2nd house is trining Neptune in retrograde in Pisces in your 6th on October 31st. So I look at this as a traveling energy. This is because Mercury and Neptune, this is literally talking about traveling to far distance places. But there's a trine happening here. So there's a blessing, there's something easy, there's something sweet, soft happening. But at the same time, I do believe that there's something I'm getting with I want to say like investing in money while traveling, but there's like daydreaming happening, or escapism, I feel like. So again, with the Scorpio and Pisces energy, I'm getting something soft, sweet happening. It's nice. It's definitely psychic. It's intuitive. It's really just nice. And I'm saying that more so because it's trining. So this is a blessing. It's either energy that comes naturally to you on that day, or this is energy that's being given to you from someone else. So I could see conversations on this day with Mercury in Scorpio in that 2nd house and Neptune in retrograde in your 6th house in Pisces. You guys having conversations maybe about some type of belief system. Literally, I'm getting religion for some reason, like maybe God, or I don't know, whatever it is you guys believe in, or I don't know, don't believe in. Or it's just conversations while drinking. I'm also getting that too with Pisces energy. So, yeah. I'm trying to think. I think that's all I got for you guys. So I want to go over everything, make sure I got this. Okay, so let's go over this. 1st house with Libra, the South Node, Lilith, Juno, Mercury, Sun, New Moon, Solar Eclipse. Overall, I think with Lilith being in Libra, there's definitely, I mean, I would be shocked if you didn't say it, or feel it. I would say anger, around either your past, like things that you feel like were a mistake in relationships, things that cause anger around soulmate energy. The reason I'm saying all this is because Juno talks about soulmates, but if it's in Libra, I also think of this as partnerships, or if it were like connected to the 10th house in some way. I think of this like the right person that is right for your soul when it comes to either a committed relationship or a business partnership. With Lilith, I'm seeing some type of anger around this. And with the South Node, I'm thinking of the past. Now, because it's all in the house of you, the self, I'm thinking like there's more emphasis about thinking about the past that you've done, the past relationships you've had, and the past like people you've worked with, or not wanting to make like the same mistakes and wanting to achieve in success when it comes to finding the right business partner, finding the right person in regards to a committed relationship. I do think this because also with that Chiron in the 7th house in Aries, I do think there are wounds around this that need to be healed, or that you guys have been healing or working towards. But I think at the same time, you guys are probably attracting these type of individuals as well. The same goes for business. I would think that maybe you're attracting people that either are going through some type of pain, or maybe some type of physical ailment as well. That could be something, since, yeah, I think that's possible since Aries rules the body. There could be some type of physical ailment going on when it comes to you guys or other people in relationships that you're connected to. So yeah, anyway, Mercury, when Mercury is in Libra and so is the Sun, I think you guys will have more of an emphasis on relationships during this time. Maybe conversations, wanting to express yourself. And I think you guys will be seen, with that Sun in the 1st house. And I think there may be conversations you guys may be having as well, with people you may be interested in, because Mercury rules your 9th and your 12th, and you guys have Jupiter there in Gemini. So you guys may be dating or talking to somebody that's a friend. I say a friend because Gemini traditionally rules that 3rd house. So it's usually people you know, people you're friends with. So yeah. Okay, 2nd house, Scorpio. So Venus will be there, Mercury, and then later on the Sun. I think you guys will definitely, something will be happening with your wallet. I think either you guys will be spending money maybe emotionally because Pluto being in your 4th house, or you will be tested when it comes to your money. Not spending it erratically based off your emotions because of Aquarius in the 5th house and Uranus being in your 8th house. I'm saying that because 29 degrees rules the 5th house, Leo traditionally. Venus and Scorpio, I feel like also at this time you would be attracting people who are deep and intimate and want to, quote unquote, merge with you. I think also at this time, since Venus rules your 1st house in Libra as well as your 8th house in Taurus, you guys may be starting something new, but it would be private. I'm not really seeing it 100%. I can see it being, I can still see it with Jupiter in Gemini, but nothing really screams to me that anything really is going on at this time. Mercury being in Scorpio, again, secret conversations or hidden conversations, private conversations, conversations about beliefs, your beliefs on, whatever it is, either beliefs about I also want to say this before I forget, I'm sorry. Your conversations about investing money or people investing money into you, again, all this would be hidden, but also I feel like conversations would be going on about a belief system because of that Mercury ruling Gemini and Mercury being in your second house in Scorpio. The sun will be in the second house. So I feel like there's something you guys want to, well, number one, I think you guys are going to be intuitive when it comes to things that are going on behind your back, things that are going on, I want to say with your group of friends. I think you'll be able to see through things that would normally be tough to understand, okay, with the sun and Scorpio. But it's happening in your second house. So I do believe you'll be able to like intuitively understand the things you should be talking about or the things you should be expressing, like the timing of it. Also, I think like since Venus is there, you would be able to more so see like who you should be giving your energy to. That's also what I see. I also see potentially you guys meeting somebody on the internet with Venus, Mercury, and the sun. I forgot already. Does Venus leave when the sun enters, if that's the case? No, I still think you guys would still meet someone because Venus is in your third house in Sagittarius, and you guys have Jupiter in that ninth house in Gemini. You guys would be more selective around this time once Jupiter goes retrograde, because again, you guys really want to learn. You guys don't want to be so... I'm just getting again, because the Lilith and the South Node being in your first house in Libra, I'm just getting that you don't want to like repeat the same type of relationships. I feel like there's wisdom that's been gained. And with Venus and Sagittarius, I feel like you guys are freeing yourselves of this. Like you're learning about this, like freedom from like past relationships. I think also you may be spending money on traveling, or you're conversating about it, or you're conversating with your friends about spiritual things. Yeah, just the things you love, and they're smart and passionate. Fourth house, Pluto goes direct in 29 degrees in your fourth house. I would suggest being honest about your feelings, being honest with also another one, authority. Definitely follow the rules. Like, don't talk back. Don't like, just be a good human being. I think that's the test too. And again, for some of you, this is going to be talking about your power and being driven to accomplish something when it comes to work, but based off your emotions. Are you motivated? Yeah. And then fifth house Aquarius, nothing's going on. Sixth house Pisces, we have Neptune and Saturn both in retrograde. This is talking about manifesting something, probably getting your schedule regimen together. Or for those of you where it's like you don't feel well, because this is definitely gonna be some of your stories. This is making those doctor's appointments and actually going to those follow-up appointments, or going to those specialists that you're supposed to be seeing, like, and sticking to it. There's a revisit, a redo with something that maybe you guys were already somewhat aware of. With that seventh house in Aries. So with the seventh house in Aries, the North Node, Chiron, and the full moon. So of course with that North Node, there is this energy, this pull going towards relationships. However, I think what's happening for rising Libras is there is this question of what have we learned from past relationships? What have we learned in like past relationships that we didn't like? What do we like? And how can we get more harmony? Like, how can we get something that's more fair? How can we get something that is something more that like is in favor of what it is we want next time around? Because I feel like there is this energy of pleasing other people. And now like what's kind of helping us while like the South Node in Libra finishes it out, that while Lilith is there, it's kind of like creating this I don't give a fuck attitude, you know, like we're going to go for what it is we want when it comes to commitment. We're going to try to manifest the partner we want, the partner we desire, because this is what we're working towards. We're literally going to feel this energy to achieve in this manner. But at the same time, because of Chiron, it brings up past wounds about ourselves, about insecurities we have about ourselves in relationships, insecurities about, I think, breakups as well. I never thought of it like that, but since Mars rules Aries, this is talking about arguments, fights. So yeah, I think there's something to that. And I think at the same time with the North Node, wherever this is, we're attracting this more into our life. So I think because Chiron's here as well, we are attracting very similar energy back to us, I would say. I'm not going to say it's the same unless you guys maybe are experiencing that, but I would say similar energy where there's like wounded people or people that just need healing. And I think with the full moon, something about this is being illuminated. Something that does either need to be healed or something that needs to leave. So I think for some of you who are dating another person or in a business partnership that isn't working out, or it's maybe the relationship you have with yourself, there could be something where you're too critical about yourself, because I'm thinking about the fact that Virgo is in the 12th house and it's in 24 degrees, and you guys have Pisces in the 6th house. So I think something that may be invisible will be visible to see. And usually I don't always feel that way about full moons, but I do about that one. I think it will be connected more so to your emotions and either feeling like you need to be more stoic, 10th house energy, Cancer, not really expressing this or expressing it in a certain kind of way. Or I think what will be illuminated for you is, can you express your Cancer energy? Can you express your emotions publicly? Or do you feel bad for this? Do you feel like shame for this? And does that have something to do with Pluto being in Capricorn, like reminding you of what has happened growing up? 8th house Taurus, you guys have Uranus in retrograde in 26 degrees. I do believe there's going to be a shakeup for some of you when it comes to having fun, number one, like internally. And I know that's a weird one, right? Like, where did I go with that? I think the things you guys value at this time, so for example, money, I think there will be a shakeup with this. I think you're going to be having to go within and ask yourself, you know, what does money mean to you? And really have that like conversation about like the material versus the spiritual things. How do you want to make your money? If you guys are having a problem with money right now, why? And I think you'll be asked to really look into this. But I am getting something about maybe making money, or like money somehow would be affecting how you guys have fun at this time, or able to express yourself, or it would be affecting you and your relationships. I also think people may be talking about your money situation or things that, or whatever it is. If you guys are romantic with anyone, I think people would be talking about this as well. I just think it would be happening more so behind your back about like who you're intimate with, and or if you're not intimate with anyone, are you just like an independent, like freedom-oriented person? I can see that as well. What is it you guys value? I think you guys are questioning this a lot at this time, whether you're consciously aware of it or not, but I think these things are changing. And I think it has something to do with, for some of you, it's going to be speaking, throat chakra, Taurus. For some of you, it's going to be about kids. It's going to be children. For some of you, it's going to be about intimacy, how you feel about it. For some of you, this is going to be about how you make your money. And also why, you know, 8th house things are happening to you guys during this time, and why they're happening in the way that they are. 9th house, Gemini, Jupiter, retrograde. I think you guys will be going within once this goes into retrograde. I think you guys will be more, not so fast to talk, but more like double checking the things you want to say before actually saying them. I also see this as just a more spiritual person. So maybe you're learning more versus like teaching versus expressing. You may be traveling. You may be investing money into going to places that you want to potentially move to. You may be learning about places you're considering moving to. Yeah, and then Mars in your 10th house in Cancer. I think you guys will either be having issues at work, arguments with, if not females, arguments with family, if you work with family, arguments with emotional men. There would be some type of conflict when it comes to your power. I also see this as competition, working hard at work. You may feel like you need to achieve something, so you feel really like a go-getter right now based off of your emotions. So if you're having a bad day, you may not feel so willing to, you know, go the extra mile. I also see this as public arguments with either family or public arguments with people you're in committed relationships with. So business partnerships or just a committed romantic relationship. I feel like yeah, people would see your pain publicly, or your anger, one of them. Leo in your 11th house, there's nothing going on here. However, once the sun is in your first house in Libra, you guys will be visible. People, I just feel like it's a magnet energy as well. I feel like the sun and Venus are magnet energies. So I feel like people will be seeing you. You'll be standing out. And then once it's in Scorpio, this will be, I think this is also another like magnetic energy, but it's also more so you can see the things that other people can't. So I think also you may want to express something because it's Leo energy expression and it's in the 11th house. So you may want to express to your group of friends or on the internet, or you may want to find like your soul tribe who is deeply, who may be very smart when it comes to psychological things or esoteric things, the occult, magic. You may be interested in things like that, or yeah, you could be making money that way too. When Venus hits Sagittarius, you could be making money that way. Definitely. You would have to travel for it as well. That's some of you out there. But yeah, I think you're just shining. I think some of you may be shining at work, and this is what you value as well, being seen. Okay, and then the 12th house, Virgo. Nothing going on there. However, I think your thoughts in the beginning will be about relationships, you in relationships, how you're affected in relationships. There will be anger in this. You'll be thinking about your soulmate energy, what it is you're looking for and what it is you're not looking for. There will be more of an emphasis while the South Node is in Libra and North Node is in Aries. Then once Mercury enters Scorpio in your second house, there will be an emphasis, a heightened emphasis about making money. Ooh, this actually, now that I think of it, is magic money. Like, well, no, Neptune isn't here. No, it's still magic. Yes, Scorpio. You guys may be thinking of when Mercury enters Scorpio, so this may affect like your nervous system in the sense that you may be trying to attract money to you by law of attraction, but you may be saying like verbal things out loud. You just may be doing money magic. That's funny. All right, that's all I got for you. Let me know if any of this ends up happening or resonating. All right, bye guys.